Hello and welcome. Let's head over to the limited series for the Ferrari F14 T. I still have the free servicing because I'm doing this just after I finished the event. People have been asking me about endless endurance options for this car in the limited series, so let's give this one a shot. Tilt beat controls, sensitivity 0, all assists off. All assists off is an absolute requirement. You cannot do this without that. We'll talk more about controls later. This is difficult. It takes you a while to get the hang of this. So I'm taking the right-hand cut the first time. Have to take cuts if you were going to do this. Watch how aggressively I drive this first lap. It's going to surprise you. But it is necessary to drive really aggressive. I did one practice run, and this is my second time trying this. Woo! You'll notice there that sometimes I'm having to lift off the throttle. I've obviously worked out my braking points and acceleration points. Certain parts of this track, I'm going to be a little more cautious. So I'm going to overbrake a little bit because an off-track accident in some places here is just devastating. So, woo, contact there at the chicane. And you got to be careful here. With lower bots, they brake at the exit of the chicane, which is just the stupidest thing. Now, parabolica. This is where I'm going to overbrake a little bit a lot of the time. Because if you slide off track here, it's just going to keep going and going and going until you smash the wall. You lose a lot of time. So I'd rather give up maybe a whole second than give up 6 or 5. Now I'm going to start taking the left-hand cut, which in this car actually isn't all that difficult. I don't like scraping that wall. Boy, I lost a lot of speed there. It's really hard this car is very hard to control off track. So off-track handling is very different than on-track handling. Off-track is going to amplify or magnify the weaknesses of a car. So the weakness with this car is low-speed corners. When it slides out, it just keeps sliding and sliding and sliding. If you've ever driven on ice, it's just like that. I've driven on ice a lot. About 6 months of the year, 4 to 6 months of the year, where I am in Canada, it's ice. And not always sheer ice, but off-track a bit. But it's difficult. Okay, so we're about to get into lap 3 here, and again, the bots are still really slow. By the way, did you see that side drafting? You can side draft. A lot of people don't know that. Side drafting works in this game. I think that's so cool. And these cars have a very small hitbox. It does not include the tires or wheels, whereas the Formula 1 cars from 2019 and beyond do. Now, check this out here. You cannot get closer than that to hitting that wall. I really should be taking it easier. But I did way better on speed. Did you notice that? So the trick is to watch my gas pedal right here. Watch this. A little bit on the brakes, coasting. So I'm going to do a combination of braking and feathering. For the first cut, it's just lifting off the throttle. No braking. Definitely no braking at all. And you'll notice you'll see both pedals on quite a lot. That's because I preload the brakes. Now we're going to warp ahead here to where I'm closer to the perpetual point, which really isn't that much later. As you can see, that's really just a whole lap later. And look at this. The bots are starting to wreck. Fully upgraded bots and boosted bots cannot handle a lot of corners in this game. For instance, when you're in it's somewhere around the Porsche curves at Le Mans, they wreck. And then here, there's a few places where they can wreck. It's really funny. So let's get more into, we're just going to wait here. I want to talk to you about controls. Lap 5, still going to take, I always take the left-hand cut because, whoa, that was tight. The right-hand cut, you really have to be careful of traffic. It's very easy to lose it on the right-hand cut. And here, I'm already into the perpetual point. You can see, just look how closely grouped these cars are. I'm taking this corner properly. Well, it was really close to properly. It looks like off track as far as Formula 1 regulations, but my distance marker only flashed red for a microsecond. And here you gotta be careful. You'll see what I mean later. The bots tend to wreck there. Now we're gonna warp ahead some more. So I'm just at 25 kilometers. Let's warp ahead. That's about 2 laps that I warped ahead on you there. Get some more. Look at this. Huge amount of craziness in the chicane. Oh, nuts. He was braking. Oh, that goofball. Okay, well, let's check for damage. See the scrapes on my wing? I'm damaged. I have to know that because I have to change how I approach Parabolica now. And, there's another turn I have to take differently. I forget the name of it. There we go. Beautiful. Now I can catch some draft. Now watch. I'm gaining. watch what happens. Watch as they start to pull away on me, because they are faster than a fully upgraded car at this point, which is also why they're having trouble. Warping ahead some more, and this is the horrible thing that can happen. Oh. Eating the wall there is horrible, so I definitely have maximum damage here. So I want to show you, this is a 50-kilometer test. I'm just showing you it wasn't perfect. Why does that matter? Earnings per minute will be higher the cleaner you drive. Now, tilt B controls, I will argue, are very necessary for this car, so you can feather. With tilt A, you have no feathering option. You're just gonna magnify it when you lose traction. You'll just slide, 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 slide. This is a corner where bots wreck a lot. See, he lost it. He's really, really slow. And both these guys are slow. It doesn't make any sense. And that's just the way it is. Sensitivity 0 because this car's harder to handle. Whatever your sensitivity is set to, lower it by at least 2, maximum 3. If you do any more than that, it's going to make it too difficult for you. But that will make it feel a little bit more like a normal car, but this is nowhere near a normal car. It takes some skill, trial and error. Like for instance, like I said, boom. You can see some bots wrecked there too. Now we're going to do a very short freeze frame of 50 kilometers, and then I'll wrap this up pretty quick. We'll get into the earnings, because that's what people care about. Freeze frame, let's throw it into some stunting. I got some videos where I showed some of my stunting skills in this car. It could be a lot of fun. I'll link that in a little bit here. As well as handling tips video. That's a very important one. Okay, actual race time was 10 minutes and 18 seconds. Based on that, we can figure out fame per minute, R per minute. Fame per minute, 916. R per minute, 6,033. Pretty decent. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. Check out some other videos.